Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up, doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, let's put it in the right place. So, things are going to get back to normal here in Arlington. The sun is up, temperatures are rising. Okay, so it's good stuff, man. Things are looking up. So, I wanted to share with you guys today something that just came out. A lot of these videos I share, these things I talk about, are something that's kind of been out for a while, or just something that I stumble upon and they've been out for months or whatever. But this is something new. Again, depending on what you subscribe to on YouTube or whatever your channels, or sometimes YouTube will just recommend some things for you. But I've talked about this in some other videos. Maybe you missed it. But Andy Frisella is one of the guys that I follow. He's pretty hardcore. All right, him, Dan Pena, and some other guys, when they speak, you just have to be ready for the realness. I like that. It's just on these types of channels for myself, I just don't go that hard with it. All right. So, but if you're around me personally, that'd be different. So the channel itself is just Andy Frisella, right? But the title, again, it's always going to be the title that catches my attention. So, Becoming Unstoppable, featuring Tia Claire Toomey. And the episode, or the podcast, is Real AF. All right, so I guess I'll let you kind of figure out what the AF is. And so this is episode 99. But Tia Claire Toomey, just to give you a little background, because I've been listening to it, for about an hour or so, just kind of back and forth. But she's Australian. She's a CrossFit champ. She's a 4-time CrossFit champ, and from what I just got from this, she is a current champ. And there's a lot of goodies in this, and I haven't even listened to it all yet because it's an hour and 23 minutes long, and it was just posted just a few hours ago. So when I clicked on this, just the beginning of it really just got me fired up, because I can relate to a lot of this stuff. So she goes right into, they get right into it, right away. She talks about her dad and the process versus the results. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I feel like a lot of people get these two things backwards, or sometimes they just forget one and only focus on the other, which is the results, the process. So apparently she worked on a farm, or they had a farm, and she just was talking about how her dad was really just more worried about the process on how to get to a thing versus the actual thing itself, the result. She goes into talking about how her dad's talking about there's no handouts. There's people that can support you and be there for you, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to get the job done and do the things that you need to do to get where you need to get to. And so she's talking about just how much she enjoys evolving, learning. And I think if you put the emphasis on the process and the actual learning as you go and getting better than the actual result itself, it becomes enjoyable. So when you don't, and I can relate to this in so many different ways because I've been doing jiu-jitsu for so long, I've competed for so many years, and I still do jiu-jitsu obviously to this day. I train every day, most of the time twice a day, is because I love it. I love the problems that it brings. I love how I evolve. I'm always learning. There's just always something to improve and to get better at. So, and as much as I hate losing, I don't want to focus more on the not losing part than the not learning part. I want to learn. I want to get better. And that's basically what she's getting at in this video. In the beginning, is this enjoying that process, the journey of the struggles. She talks about the struggles. She talks about the hardships and things that are tough, where people like us, people like me, people like her that enjoy that, other people get frustrated and don't enjoy that. It's actually weird. I was just talking to a few students about this yesterday after class, how some individuals we know just can't handle, the difficulties that jiu-jitsu brings, the tough rounds. Each individual teammate you have brings a different problem to solve to you. And some people are just really tough, really grimy. You got to deal with the way their aggressiveness. Some people are really methodical, technical. You got to deal with their dismantling their techniques. Some people, it's just whatever. There's just so many things to get better at. And when you focus on the actual process of things versus the actual result, things actually get a lot better. You don't know how many times I've talked to so many students over the years, and especially it just seems a lot lately, more lately in the last couple of years than when I first started. But more and more people that were just like are on the verge of quitting just because it's tough, just because they don't feel like they're good, just because they feel like they had a bad day today on the mat. They come up to me and want to kind of express and kind of vent a little bit, and they're on the verge of wanting to throw in the towel and quit. And I got to give a little pep talk, to reel them back into reality. Like, this is part of the training, this is part of the process. This is part of, what you have to go through. And the beauty about jiu-jitsu is that there is no faking the funk, man. You can talk all the stuff that you want. You can be a super athlete in something else. You can have all A's, have, a master's degree, whatever degree. None of that matters on the mat. It doesn't matter your social status, how much money you got, how much money you don't have, no matter your upbringing, if you had both parents, no parents, one parent. None of that matters. Only thing that matters is you and the mat and the other person in front of you, and that's it. And so sometimes during this process, we think that because we're really good at something else, or really smart and intelligent in something else, when we come across the struggles with jiu-jitsu, the first jerk reaction is, I'm not good at this and I want to quit. And so again, me as a coach, I gotta bring everyone back down to earth and to reality. Like, hey, look, this is what it is. You get used to this. And the sooner you get used to this process of what we're going through day in and day out, because it's never going to end, right? It's never going to end, because we're always evolving on the mat. Things are always going to be tough. Your teammates are getting better. So if you take a break and they keep coming and you want to come back, it's only going to get worse. So what's the answer? Keep coming, keep showing up. Like, embrace, you see the phrases all the time, embrace the suck. It's a real thing. Okay, it's a real thing. And once you embrace that and understand, like, yeah, this is the way this life is going to be. This is the life I chose. This is what the path that I'm taking. It just becomes better, because you start to understand things better. Your mind starts to accept that these things are going to be tough. But in the same process, you're learning, you're getting better. Doesn't seem like much on some days, but you're getting better and you're understanding. It's getting easier versus some people that I've seen, literally quit, come back after months, or quit, go to another gym, another academy, then come back to ours and realize, man, I should never have did that, because it just seems like things are even harder than they were before I left, because of the training's not the same and that kind of thing. So in the mindset, the way that we get after it starts to build these calluses in your mind and on your body that you just get used to it. In the beginning, it is very tough. It's very frustrating. But just like this Tia Claire is talking about, her dad, one of the most important lessons he taught her was the process versus results. And so when I heard that, instantly I fell in love with it, because I'm like, man, that's it. Like, that's what we need to focus on. Not so much the gold medal that we're chasing or whatever it is that we're chasing. It's the process going through it. And what she says is, she talks about, how she lost her first two CrossFit games. And in that first CrossFit game, she took second. And she just thought, man, I wonder, like, these other athletes must have had a heat stroke or something. They must have had something wrong with them for them to allow me to take second place and get this close. Then she did the second one. She took second again, and then she was just like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I am this good. Maybe, I'm getting this close. Then the attitude became, well, I'm going after it now. Before, she was just in it to do it, and then going through that motion, through that process, and then by the third one, then she's like going after to win it. And then from what I got, if I got my facts straight, she's won 4 consecutive ones, and she's actually the current champ right now. But through that process, her mind started to shift to, I'm just kind of, I like it and I want to do it, to forget that I'm going all in and I want to win this thing. And so just like jiu-jitsu in the beginning, you kind of want to just learn something new, do it, get in better shape, that kind of thing. And then once you get into it, I always see 2 reactions. People go all in on it. They become a very much healthier individual. Their jiu-jitsu becomes much, much better. An individual becomes much tougher mentally and physically. And then you got the other ones where they just can't handle that because they just thought they were going to walk into the mat and be good, like they were good in whatever else that they're good at. And that's not the case. So their ego gets hurt and their ego gets busted. And now they don't want to come back, or they want to, they just want to quit or take a break or whatever. So once we understand whatever it is that we're trying to go after, it's the process of learning the ups and downs. And there's so many good stuff in here. Like I need to break this up into a couple different videos of what they're talking about in here. But it's exactly that. Like, just to stay on this topic, it's once you understand whatever it is that you're trying to go after. Again, I've done so many competitions. #1 ranking in the world, 3-time master world champions at black belt, 4-time in the no-gi, 5-time American national champion in the black belt division. Like, and the list goes on. That doesn't happen overnight, and that doesn't happen right away. How that happens is by losing a lot, by getting frustrated a lot, by having bad days on the mat, by having, dealing with injuries, by dealing with, just your feelings getting hurt when things don't go the way you want them, traveling overseas or across the country and coming up short and having a long flight back, thinking about what you could have did differently or what you should have done or whatever. And you got to sit on that loss until the next one is available, or in some tournaments, the next year. You got to wait 365 days for that exact same tournament to come back so that you can go back and win it again. I give you an example. The Asian Open was a tournament that I just was on my radar for a long time, and I just, for one, scared to go there, flying there. Just it's a long flight. But when I first went, I won a couple matches and then lost in the finals. That's a long flight home, guys. That's a long flight home. I can't do that tournament again until the next year at the same time. Keep training, get back to work, go back again the next year. Lost again in the finals to a just tough decision. Yeah, man, that I could see it. I was there if I was, it's right now happening. Didn't stop me. Came back again, long flight home, a lot of thoughts inside, dealing with those, just emotions, going through that process on the flight home. Wait a whole nother year to go back. And then I did. On the third try, I did. I went all the way back to Japan for the third time and then finally did it. The greatest feeling in the world. And I have a lot of those. Because I've done a lot of those. In those kind of situations where I didn't go get it the first try, I got it on the second or the third try. Again, not flying or driving to Austin or Houston or some other city locally, or going to some other state in the United States, to Japan. Lost 2 times. And then on the third time, tried again. But through the process, I got better. I got smarter. I got wiser. I learned the mat better. My jiu-jitsu got better. Everything got better. And when it was time to go out there and do it again, it was just kind of like this person here. She lost the first 2 times. Then she realized how close she was. No, this is mine this time. So I can relate to this story, and so that's why I'm sharing it with you. Maybe you can relate to it. Maybe you can't. Maybe you will in the future. But if you lose at something and you come close to it, especially like me, traveling as far as like I did to Japan, to Tokyo, it's not an easy thing to do. To come back home and lose. The first jerk reaction is I ain't doing that again. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't me. My mindset was, I'll be back. And when I did go back, I lost again. I'll be back. It's a long flight. That's a long process. That's a whole nother story for another episode on what it takes to get to Japan and then deal with that whole thing. But anyways, the job got done. The mission was accomplished. And I have that medal up in my academy. And it's something that I can look back on. And along with the other 2 silver medals from that tournament of what it took me to get there. Again, the process versus the results. I'm much better as an individual, mentally and jiu-jitsu wise, because of the losses that it took to get that actual result that I wanted. So I just wanted to get this out to you guys because I just felt like we should all be chasing something. Like if you're just at home sitting around doing nothing, man, you're losing. It is what it is. It's just facts. It's just true. You are losing. You need to be actually trying to chase something and do something and go after something every single day, man. You should have some kind of goal of something that you're working after and working towards. You know, get up and make those moves, man, and just understand that through that process, you're going to evolve and get better. But during that process, it's going to suck. There's going to be some hard times, some doubts, and definitely some battles within yourself. You're going to want to quit. Don't do it. Stick it out. And you can be like this Tia Claire and become, you know, the champion that she is and the things that I've won. You can do the exact same things yet if you haven't done them yet. But you got to go through the process. So process versus results, guys. Good stuff. Hope that helps. I got to get up to jiu-jitsu class. Excited to see some students today. Again, we're back, hopefully back to normal. And let's get after it. All right, you guys, have a good day. We'll see you.